A very good day mga bay. Ito na naman po si Bert para sa Bert Talks Daily. Pag-uusapan natin ngayon yung naging trending sa social media, in particular sa Twitter. Nasabi pa dito, I have asked permission to step down as executive secretary. Ito yung sinabi ni Attorney Vic Rodriguez, who stepped down from his post as executive secretary of the Marcos administration, but he will be staying as President Bongbong Marcos's chief of staff. Ano nga ba ang nangyari? Well, before natin pag-usapan yan, tangkain muna natin kilalanin kung sino ba itong si Vic Rodriguez. Si Vic Rodriguez ay isang abogado, born December 23, 1973. He is a Filipino lawyer and served as the executive secretary of President Bongbong Marcos. He previously served as Marcos's campaign spokesperson and chief of staff. He is also the executive vice president and general campaign manager of Partido Federal ng Pilipinas. He attended the University of Santo Tomas in Manila, where he obtained his law degree. He also had executive education at the National University of Singapore, NUS, Negotiation and Influence Program. He was involved in various law organizations. He is a managing lawyer of Rodriguez and Partners law firm, which he helped establish in 2003. He is also president of Quezon City Trial Lawyers League and was treasurer of the UST Law Alumni Foundation. He was also deputy general counsel of the Integrated Bar of the Philippines. He was first elected as Barangay Kagawad of Sacred Heart, Quezon City, before being elected as its barangay captain at age 19 and became the youngest person to hold the position. He joined the Quezon City government in 2002 after his one-decade tenure as barangay captain, and he was appointed as special assistant to the chief of business permits and licensing office by then-mayor Feliciano Belmonte Jr. He then became officer in charge of the city's community relations office. Rodriguez co-founded the tabloid Saksi Ngayon with Antonio Lagdameo Jr. During the campaign period, Rodriguez served as spokesperson of then-candidate Bongbong Marcos during his presidential campaign in the 2022 elections. After Marcos won the presidency, Rodriguez became part of leading the transition team to help Marcos build the initial composition of his cabinet. Rodriguez relinquished his role as Marcos's spokesperson in preparation for his role as President Bongbong Marcos's executive secretary. Yun na nga yung kaunting background natin na nakukuha patungkol sa pagkatao ni Vic Rodriguez na kasalukuyang executive secretary na kabababa lamang. Ayon sa balita, lawyer Victor Rodriguez on Saturday announced that he stepped down as executive secretary. Rodriguez said that he had asked permission to step down from the position, a rare privilege not extended to all, but was given to me by the President, His Excellency Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr. According to him, the work of an executive secretary is a 24/7 job with myriad topics expected to be attended to every day. It demands a sense of urgency, which essentially requires almost all of a public servant's time to ensure that services are met and delivered. However, Rodriguez said that he wanted to prioritize time with his family. Equally valuable, however, is to witness firsthand your young family grow and evolve into how every parent would wish them to become, and they most need me too. I thank the President for his continuing trust and his sincere understanding of my decision. To the Filipino people, I shall continue serving you and the country as the Presidential Chief of Staff. So ito na nga, nag-resign na si Rodriguez at hindi naman niya idinetalye kung ano yung mga nasa likod ng kanyang nabuong desisyon. Maliban labang sa sinasabi niya na gusto niyang mabigyan ng mas malaking panahon yung pamilya niya. Kasi yung posisyon bilang executive secretary ay napaka-demanding sa oras. Nang dahil sa napakaraming bagay na kailangan na ma-attend. Yun yung pinaka-primary na reason niya bakit siya nag-resign. Pero sa kabila ng lahat, ay marami pa ring haka-haka na meron talaga mga mas mabibigat na rason kung bakit binitiwan niya yung posisyon. Kasi nga, pag ang tao ay maging isang executive secretary, ay hindi basta-bastang posisyon yan. Hindi mo basta-bastang bitawan yan. Lalo na't napaka makapangyarihan na posisyon ang pagiging executive secretary. Tinatawag nga tong little president. Kung sabaga, kung yung presidente nga, siya yung in charge sa buong naging executive branch, in the absence or in behalf of the president, the executive secretary can and may also function as mandated and is instructed by the president to do certain jobs that usually is reserved for the president. Kung maalala nyo, naging campaign manager si Executive Secretary Vic Rodriguez bago pa man ay inappoint ni Marcos. Pero mismo si Marcos, no? Siya yung nag-nominate sa kanyang then spokesperson na si Vic Rodriguez na magiging kanyang Executive Secretary yung pagkapanalo niya sa May 9, 2022 elections. So, ibig sabihin, malaki talaga yung trust and confidence ni Bongbong Marcos dito kay Executive Secretary Rodriguez. Ano nga ba yung posisyon ng Executive Secretary? It is one of the most sought-after position in the government, which is also called the Little President of Malacanang because of the immense power that it holds. The Executive Secretary is the highest-ranking official within the Office of the President of the Philippines. The position is also part of the Cabinet of the Philippines. Ibig sabihin, alter ego ng presidente. Kung sabagay, kung wala yung presidente, usually, lalo na pag hindi magkaparehong partido yung presidente at vice presidente. Sa mga nakaraang administrasyon, hindi magkaparehong partido o hindi magkaalyado yung presidente at vice presidente. Kaya usually ang nangyayari, pag nagkakaroon ng state visit ang presidente, yung powers niya temporarily dinidesignate niya. Hindi sa vice president na hindi niya kaalyado o kapartido, kundi doon sa kanyang trusted na executive secretary. Usually, yung executive secretary ang nagiging in charge sa gobyerno in the absence of the president. So, the executive secretary will then be running the government on behalf of the president. Ano ba kasi yung function ng isang executive secretary? Well, the responsibilities of an executive secretary includes directly assisting the president in managing government affairs, directing the operations of the executive office, and the most controversial part is appointing officials whose appointments do not need the president's approval. So, makapangyarihan talaga. May mga libo-libong mga pwesto dyan sa gobyerno na kailangan na kung sabaga lagyan ng tao para makapag-function at i-lead yung mga departamento at iba't ibang ahensya ng gobyerno. So, siya yung gumagawa ng appointment at usually inaaprobahan ng presidente. Kasi nga, malaki yung trust ng presidente usually sa executive secretary. The executive secretary also has the power to sign papers such as executive orders, yung EO, by authority of the president, and decide on matters for and on behalf of the president if they don't require the chief executive's personal attention. Kung sabaga ito ay parang sidekick na ng presidente, yung right-hand man na tinatawag. The post of executive secretary has been held by distinguished men since it was created in 1936. Here are the notable officials who were once executive secretary in the Republic of the Philippines. Lawyer Jorge Vargas, the first executive secretary appointed by then-President Manuel Quezon. Manuel Rojas, the fifth president of the Philippines, also served as Quezon's executive secretary from December of 1941 until March of 1942. Ernesto Maceda, a cum laude graduate of the Ateneo Law School, served as Councilor of Manila and was named Outstanding Councilor before becoming the youngest cabinet member of then-President Ferdinand Idrelin Marcos. Joker Arroyo held a record as the human rights lawyer who handled the most number of cases between 1972 and 1986 before becoming then-President Aquino's first executive secretary in 1986. So hindi basta-basta yung mga listahan ng mga pangalan na naging mga executive secretaries sa mga nakaraang administrasyon. Kabilang na dito si Pwesto who went on to become vice president under the Arroyo administration. So balik tayo kay Vic Rodriguez. Sabi pa nga, mismo sa inaugurasyon ni President Bongbong Marcos, medyo nairita to sa kay Vic Rodriguez. It says here, all didn't seem well between President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and Executive Secretary Vic Rodriguez just an hour after Marcos was sworn into office. After the inauguration at the National Museum Thursday, Marcos and his family headed straight to Malacanang for the oath-taking of his cabinet appointees. Radio TV Malacanang's footage of the oath-taking showed Marcos approaching Rodriguez after administering the oaths of new officials. Marcos gestured a number of times with his hands while Rodriguez listened intently. Their backs were slightly towards the camera, but Rodriguez appeared tense. Rodriguez has drawn criticism over his alleged ties to Philippine Ports Authority General Manager Christopher Pastrana, whose appointment has been questioned due to supposed conflict of interest. So ito, may lumalabas na conflict of interest kasi nga itong si Pastrana na in-appoint. As we've said, part ng function ng isang executive secretary is to fill in the list of those who are to be appointed sa mga government post. At posible, isa to sa in-appoint ni Rodriguez, ito si Christopher Pastrana. Pastrana, the owner of Archipelago Philippine Ferries Corporation, FASCAT, reportedly owes 132 million pesos to the Department of Transportation. May utang in-appoint. Kaya nga medyo questionable. Medyo hindi nagustuhan. Most likely ni President Bongbong Marcos itong ganitong galawan na parang tila bagay ginagamit yung pwesto para sa kapakanan ng posibleng mga koneksyon niya. Hindi natin alam. Yun yung mga parang haka-haka sa paligid. Sabi pa nga sa isang pagpuna, in particular, may nakitaan silang kung sabaga red flags kaya then Executive Secretary Vic Rodriguez. Sabi pa nga dito, concerns have been raised over the appointment of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s former campaign manager, Attorney Vic Rodriguez, as the new executive secretary. This, according to political strategist Malu Takea, as she noted several red flags over Rodriguez's new assignment, including him being young and inexperienced. So, ang punto ni Malu Takea is kulang talaga sa experience si Executive Secretary Rodriguez. She noted that the immense decision-making powers bestowed on whoever has a task to handle the post being Executive Secretary, hindi basta-basta yung trabaho ng Executive Secretary. Pag kulang ka sa experience, baka makagawa ka ng hindi appropriate o hindi well thought of na mga inisyatibo. Takea also highlighted the irregularity of Rodriguez's appointment by comparing him to past figures who occupied the post. Yung kanina, tiningnan natin yung listahan. Yung mga naging executive secretary, hindi basta-basta. Medyo may edad na. Ibig sabihin, mas malawak na yung experience. Kasi nga, etong si Rodriguez ngayon ay 48 anyos pa lang. Vic Rodriguez is only 48 years old, but he is notably younger than most of those who led the executive secretary's office since its creation in 1936. Kung tutusin, yung pangalan ni Rodriguez ay paulit-ulit na lumilitaw patungkol sa yung tinatawag na sugar import fiasco kung saan may sugar order number 4 na naging kontrobersyal kasi nga pumirma ang isang undersecretary ng Department of Agriculture na nagpapaintulot na mag-import tayo ng more or less 300,000 metric tons of sugar na walang paintulot o hindi dumaan kay President Bongbong Marcos, who is also concurrently the head of the Department of Agriculture. Sabi pa nga ng minority sa Senado, Executive Secretary Vic Rodriguez is not entirely blameless on the so-called fiasco behind Sugar Order Number 4, according to Pimentel, referring to the illegal resolution that supposedly would have authorized the importation of 300,000 metric tons of sugar into the country. It was clear to us early on that all communications related to the issuance of Sugar Order Number 4 were timely and clearly communicated to the Executive Secretary. However, the Executive Secretary's unilateral decision to sit on it contributed to the debacle. Yun ang findings ng minority patungkol sa posibleng involvement ni Executive Secretary Vic Rodriguez sa Sugar Order Number 4. Bagay na nagpapakita lamang sa obvious na kakulangan ng experience ng isang Vic Rodriguez bilang Executive Secretary. Kaya nga obviously tinanggap ng presidente yung kanyang resignation as Executive Secretary. Kasi nga kung ganun na lang kabigat at ganun na lang katindi yung expertise ng isang Vic Rodriguez, hindi ito bibitawan ni President Bongbong Marcos. Obviously, nakikita din ni President Bongbong Marcos na hindi magiging maganda para kay Vic Rodriguez kung siya ay magpapatuloy bilang Executive Secretary, na he will remain sa isang posisyon na napakalawak yung powers powers na pwedeng maabuso or pwedeng ma-compromise yung posisyon ng presidente kung hindi ganun ka tatag at katibay at reliable yung namuno ng Office of the Executive Secretary. So kaya nga tinanggap na lang ni Presidente Bongbong Marcos at ginawang Chief of Staff si Rodriguez. So mas mababang pwesto to kumpara sa isang Executive Secretary. Sayang yung posisyon at opportunity na pwede sanang magamit ni Rodriguez para makatulong sa pagpapaunlad ng ating lipunan at ating gobyerno. Fortunately, at least si Rodriguez binitiwan niya yung pwesto bago pa man magkaroon ng mas malalang posibleng iskandalo or whatever it may be na makapaglalagay sa Office of the President sa hindi magandang posisyon. So sa ngayon, wala pa namang in-appoint na panibagong Executive Secretary si President Bongbong Marcos. Baka siguro pagkatapos ng kanyang pagbisita doon sa United Nations sa New York, United States of America. So most probably pagbalik niya, baka may lista na siya sa pagpipilian kung sino yung papalit kay Vic Rodriguez bilang Executive Secretary. Ating subaybayan ang mga kaganapan at developments patungkol dito sa mga darating na araw. So yun na nga, bumaba na si Executive Secretary Vic Rodriguez sa kanyang pwesto at ngayon ay bakante na yung pwesto ng pagiging Executive Secretary. Kung may komento kayo o kung ano man ang gusto nyo ipaiwatig na mga pananaw patungkol dito, huwag magatubiling pindutin yung comment button at include nyo na rin yung pag-like ng video na to at pag-share sa iba pang mga video na nandito sa ating channel na Bert Talks Daily. At kapag hindi pa kayo nakapag-subscribe, pakipindot na rin yung subscribe button at sana nga lang pati na rin yung mga kaibigan nyo at mga kapamilya ay mag-subscribe na rin sa ating Bert Talks Daily. Hanggang sa muli, ito po si Bert Amplayo. God bless.